I think to everyone's shock, this team actually accomplished something this year.
There goes Davis! Oh my God! Davis is going running all the way back! Auburn's going to win the football game!
Hello and welcome to this episode of War Eagle Weekly, the newly minted champions, Auburn Tigers. Something like
I guess.
that. Yeah. I mean,
we were invited to be champions.
There you go. Yeah, there wasn't anybody that really challenged us. Although, Josh, you and I
Except for
both
the refs.
could not get over that game yesterday. We were
That's
so
stupid.
frustrated. So frustrated.
We were up 21 points, Cameron, and we almost
multiple
freaking
times.
blew it.
Multiple times.
Almost freaking blew it.
Yeah.
And how annoying were those announcers?
Pretty.
I don't know if you heard them, but when I watched the end of the game, I was like, "Holy crap! These announcers want Auburn to lose." It was very annoying. It was almost insufferable.
Yeah, it was one of those games where we tuned in. You and I. It was one of the only games this year that you and I have gotten to watch together because we were over at our parents' house for Easter, and we were watching the game. And while we were eating, everything was going really well. We were up big before halftime. The Tulsa made a push, and we were like, man, they're trying to keep Tulsa in this. And then we finished strong. And so heading into the second half, you and I both felt pretty good. I'm standing at the sink doing the dishes, and that's when things start going south. And it's just one bad thing after another. It just
don't make Cameron do chores during the Auburn game.
Yeah, I was like, what do you mean I got to do dishes? The game is on. And yeah, everything went south. And then we're sitting there watching the end of the game, and both of us are just unbelievably frustrated the way that the one-sidedness was for the game. But all in all, after all of that, Auburn comes out victorious because of Kevin Overton and just absolutely kicking ass and taking over the game.
This whole tournament, dude, tournament, he's just been a monster.
Yeah, he really has. So how did you feel about your favorite player in this game? Because he had his moments.
I mean, he's a bum. He's a bum.
For those that don't know, tell them who we're talking about.
We're talking about Keyshawn Hall, the bum. Yeah. He's a bum.
Yeah. I
hate him.
One of the things, though, that you and I talked about, and I've kind of alluded to it before yesterday, but maybe Murphy was the problem. Maybe Murphy was the problem as far as chemistry and this team just gelling together and actually putting together something. Because it never felt like they gave up. Things were going south, and in the past this year, they have withered away and died. In this game, they still continued to fight, and again, Kevin Overton just took over there at the end. But I don't know. Was Murphy the problem?
I don't buy it. I don't buy it at all. Because I mean, even after the game, players were saying this championship was for Murph. So it doesn't sound like any of the players have any ill will towards Murph whatsoever. I mean, the fans obviously do. I'm a little salty towards him, but I definitely don't buy it that Keyshawn Murphy was the cohesion problem.
Interesting. And I'm a little frustrated with the players wanting to get him a ring because that's just ridiculous. So, but okay.
On the team.
All right. Hey, then okay, maybe he wasn't. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if Chris Bosh can get some championship rings, so can Keyshawn Murphy.
Okay, let's first off, Chris Bosh earned his championship rings with the Heat,
except for when he was injured and didn't play.
There wasn't a championship series that he did not play in, I believe. If I
remember
correctly. Yeah, the Eastern Conference Finals. He
could swear that was a pretty big controversy.
Yeah, that was in
Cameron. You're getting off topic. You're getting off topic.
Oh, you're the one that started this shit. It was in the Boston series that he missed a majority of it and came
Cameron,
back.
This is an Auburn podcast, not Miami Heat. Get off yourself.
Okay. All right. I see you, Josh. Okay. So I have a problem with Murphy quitting on the team. You have a problem with Murphy. You have a huge problem with Hall. I have a problem with Hall. I'm not a huge fan of his, but we are pretty big fans of Kevin Overton and
Yes.
Todd Pettiford. But with that
Yes.
being said, which players do you think come back? And then, second to that, which players do you want to come back?
Okay. So I know for 100% certainty, at least one player is for sure coming back, and that's Elijah Freeman. He announced last
Mm,
night after the
let's
championship that he's coming
go.
back. I would like to see SWA, Kevin Overton, and Hod come back, and I'll also love to see Filip Jovic come back. The dude
Yes,
looked outstanding in the tournament.
really
He looked
stepped up.
really good. I don't think this is going to happen, but I really would like to see Magwood come back in.
Mm,
It was nice to actually have a backup point guard that
yeah,
could do something other than to defend. So
Magwood
I
put
would really like to.
he put in some minutes during the tournament. It was nice to see him out
He
there.
did. I mean, there was one game where him and Kevin Overton were the only ones scoring, and I really think he could do some really good things. With that being said, I as much as I would like to see a lot of the roster come back, there has to be some sort of turnover in
Yeah,
terms of players leaving and players coming in. So because there was clearly a problem with this team this year,
hmm,
and so I think it would help prove whether or not Stephen Pearl actually knows what he's doing to see if there is any turnover and see how he rebounds from losing players and gaining different players to coach up with the players that come back.
okay, all right. For me, yeah, Overton. I'd love to see Hod back. He had a very bad beginning to the season, and then was just cold, hot and cold throughout the season. But as soon as the tournament began, it was big game Hod all the way, and he had plenty of moments in this tournament where he took over and had just big moments. And so, but I think my favorite player from this year is Filip Jovic. Um, I he the progression he made from the beginning of the
You
season
could
to
see
where
it.
he
You
was,
could see it.
you could see it each and every game. And it probably had a lot to do with the fact that we had to throw him into the fire because all of our big men, we ran out of options. It was Murphy was hurt at
Yeah.
the beginning of the year. Opurum got hurt as well. And we kind of had to just go with Filip Jovic, and he blossomed as the year went on. And so I really want to see him. And Elijah Freeman, I'm excited about his return because he is one of those players that excites me. He gets me excited with the way he plays in his game. Many NBA execs have talked about the fact that he looks like an NBA player of
He
everyone
really
on
does.
this roster.
He's one of the rare diamonds in the rough that you
Mm,
find in college basketball these days. He comes from D2 or was it D3?
I can't remember. It
Either
was
way, it
lower, yeah.
wasn't it wasn't big basketball, and he comes in and starts out as a starter, then gets put in as a backup, and then comes back into later the season as a starter, and he just really looked really freaking good. He's still raw. I mean, that's easy to see,
Yeah.
but the dude has got just lots of talent, and I'm really excited to see his progression in the next year. And the one problem I have with Filip Jovic, I don't know if this is Philip's fault or the Auburn men's basketball social media presence's fault, but his size and shooting ability were severely overhyped.
Mm,
Severely, like before the season started, there was practice video of him just like nailing threes over and over and over, and I don't think he took a single one this season.
okay.
And they made
Hey,
him seem like he was much bigger.
okay. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. I mean I can understand the issues you have with that. I'm on board there. Um for me though, I'm excited to see what this team is next year without Hall. Because there were just times where he just took over the game, and maybe next year we're going to be wishing we had Hall, but
Nope.
he frustrated both of us quite a bit, especially when when the moments mattered the most. He seemed to wither away, and I don't want that kind of player. So I'm interested to see what happens with that going forward. Now, moving right along, Josh, real quick, I want to talk about the season as a whole and what our thoughts are on this season. I don't think, although early on you called NIT tournament for this team. Um, but I don't think heading into the season, either one of us thought that this team was headed to the NIT and that we were going to have the problems that we had.
Well, no, because the amount of talent that we had coming in before
Yeah.
Bruce Pearl retired, I mean, nothing about this team screamed NIT. Everything about this team screamed March Madness,
Yeah.
and it's just it was disappointing for sure.
Yeah. One of my big things is I've said it regularly in private and on this show. If Bruce is the coach, we win minimum 5 more games.
Yeah,
And we
I
make the
agree.
tournament, and we probably at least make it to the second round. I think. I I don't have a problem with Steven. I want Steven to stay around, and I think long term he can be a great coach for us. But I hate that we're having to go through some of the growing pains that coaches are inevitably going to go through. I,
It's
I
going to
hate
happen,
I hate that
like you
he doesn't.
said.
Yeah, I hate that he doesn't have that already out of the way.
Well, it's his first year, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a completely new roster other than Tahad Pettiford. So I mean I mean if you expected a coach to coach that team without any sort of growing pains, then you are completely delusional. I'm not saying you are. You did
Right.
think
Okay.
that,
Okay.
but if you're one of the fans that just thought this team was just going to blow everybody out just because the
Mm,
talent on paper was astounding,
yeah.
then you're just a sunshine pumper, and I can't take you seriously. But I mean, this dude, he's been an assistant coach for how many years?
Yeah.
Ever since Bruce Pearl was on the Plains, and he gets thrown into the deep end and is expected to coach a Final Four team. I mean, that's just what the expectations
Mm,
were. I'm not gonna lie, because I had Final Four expectations since, especially since last year, and I thought we had more talent on the team this year. But overall, though, I think I would give Stephen Pearl a C minus on the season because of the growing pains and his inability to get the team to gel together
yeah.
and play with cohesion. I mean,
And
it's just
and there
there's
were
no way
I
around it.
agree with that score. I think I can be okay with a C minus, maybe a C, maybe a solid C. But for me, there were so many moments in games where I'm just like, why are you not coaching? And he has a different mentality than his dad, and it's a hard transition going
Yeah,
from how animated Bruce was to how laid back and reserved Steven is. So I'm interested to see how it progresses, and I'm interested to see what happens next year. um i I want to see how this offseason goes. We've talked about players that we want to come back. What players does he want to come back? Which ones does he say, hey, this one, I value this player enough that we can maybe overspend to keep him? And so I'm interested to see what that is. And then told you that this was a big thing heading into this last season, and I'm interested to see how it translates moving forward. When Bruce retired, yes, there were a lot of things that he hurt Steven with as far as putting him in a bad position. One of the things that he did put Steven in a fantastic position was he retired so late in the offseason that the assistant coaches did not have a chance to look at other opportunities. Had he
I mean,
retired early on, had he
still a
retired
dirtbag
early
thing to
on,
do.
had he retired early on in the offseason, I think a number of the assistants would have possibly jumped ship. And so I'm interested to see if any of them do leave the program this year. Turnover is inevitable. You talked about that. But with coaches, one of the ways that this program has been as successful as it is Bruce has kept those assistants for a very long time. And so I'm interested to see if they believe in Steven and want to go through those growing pains with him, or if they are going to jump ship. And if that's the case, who does Steven hire? There are so many questions going into this offseason, not just player related, but
I think
coach related.
I think Hugh Freeze is looking for a job.
No, no. We'd be this close all the time. We'd be that close.
All the time.
But Josh, the basketball team didn't end the way we wanted to, but it also ended on a higher note than either one of us thought was possible.
It's true. And another thing to think about is one team is hoisting a banner while the other one is not. It's an NIT banner, but it's still a
Yeah.
banner, you know?
Yep. Yeah. Hey, Auburn has never won the NIT tournament. The NIT tournament has a longer history than the NCAA tournament. It's not quite as prestigious as it used to be. No one's saying that. But there are going to be two teams at the end of the year that are going to finish on a winning streak and are going to finish as winners. And that's going to be Auburn is one of them. And then either UConn or Michigan, hopefully Michigan, is going to be the other. So that's you can't ask for more heading into the off season, Josh. All I gotta say though is thank goodness the season is over because neither one of us are ready to keep talking about this team.
No,
But
God, no.
War Eagle, man.
War damn Eagle.
There goes Davis. Oh my God! Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game.